Hi guys, hope you're all well, and today I'm going to be filming a video called Is Single the New Cool? And I got inspired by another YouTuber called Hannah Witten who did a video basically talking about single life and what it's like and etc etc. If you want to see that video I'll put that below, but I'm just gonna flow with this. I'm not quite sure where it's gonna go, but I'm just gonna talk about some of my experiences and what single life is like for me and try to summarise whether single life is the new cool thing in society, because this topic interests me a lot. So let's just get right into it and I'm gonna start. So I've been single for about a year now. I was in a relationship last year. It wasn't a particularly a very long lasting one. I'm not going to mention names, but I was in a relationship for about 2.5 months maybe. We got together really quick. We actually met at an event thing we were both going to, and we ended up spending the whole week together, and by the end of it we ended up going out. And by the end of October things kind of went a bit rough, so we ended up splitting up. And ever since then I've been single, and I haven't really been dating or talking to any guys in that manner. But I kind of wanted to give my interpretation of what single life now is like in the 21st century, in 2016, and my view of it all. So, I've been single for, well, about a year, as I said, but I've found that single life is probably more accepted now than what it was probably several decades ago, because the normal roles in society and how structures work is that, you know, you find a partner, you get married, you have kids, and then the cycle goes round and round and round. But you'll find now that a lot of people just stay single. You'll find that a lot of people aren't in a relationship and just enjoy the single life. I've experienced times in my life where I've seen couples in school, and this probably sounds really silly looking back as I'm a 19-year-old now, that I think I put pressure on myself to think, so why haven't I got a boyfriend right now? Why aren't things working out perhaps the way it should? And there are couples that got together in school and are still together now, even through like sixth form or college or university or whatever else they are doing with their lives, and I find that amazing. And when I was in school I was very forced in myself to think I must find someone, and embarrassing as it is to admit, I found myself constantly on the go of trying to find someone that I perhaps could connect with on a different level. It never worked out. I probably came across as a bit desperate, a bit needy, and well, a bit much really, and which probably isn't very attractive at all, because being forceful on someone isn't very attractive. And as I've got older, I don't mind being single as much. I think now, as a person, I think a relationship requires a lot of time and effort, and probably sounds bad, but I think, I don't know whether this is because I haven't found the right person yet. I don't know whether that's the case, but that I just don't feel like I have the time or the effort to put into one to give that person what they need emotionally or whatever that may be, because I've got so much of my own stuff going on, especially with everything that's happened in the last 10 months. But I think now people find relationships more of a required effort than anything else. And some people hate being alone, some people are okay with being alone. I would say I'm personally okay with being on my own because I've got my family, I've got a good couple of friends surrounding me, and I don't feel that pressure of I need to find someone like I used to 5 years ago. If the right person came along, perhaps that would be different. But I don't think it's so much that. I don't even know if I should admit this, but sometimes I feel like I perhaps have commitment issues because in my last relationship I found that when we first started going out we had this magic spark that we wanted to be around each other all the time, and we just were mesmerised by each other, and we had our hands all over each other all the time. And after a month, maybe a month and a half, I felt like I lost that spark, and I felt like normal life had come through. I said to him, because he thought I'd gone a bit short with him or a bit not into it as much as he was, but I said I felt like it had just adapted to a normal part of my life. It wasn't this new thing anymore. And I think that's where it went downhill, because whereas I was texting and calling him all the time, it came to a stage where, you know, I needed to start doing other things with my life. Like I just started university, and I don't think he got that very much. I don't think he quite understood this, and that's why I think perhaps I have commitment issues. I'm not sure, because when people are like, after a month or a month and a half, he was like, we should go on holiday together, we should do this together, we should do this, da 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 da. And I hate things when they're rushed. If they're rushed, it makes me feel like I'm in an unnatural process, and I feel like that with relationships. But as I was saying, I don't find it such a pain to be on my own anymore. Yeah, sometimes I lay in bed and think, oh, it would be really nice to have someone to cuddle up to, or someone that I could connect to on a different level, someone who I could share a life with, perhaps. But I think it's become more socially acceptable to be on your own and be this independent person, rather than the woman or a man getting with each other and being dependent on someone. I think it's much more accepted for women to do it alone now, and for men to do it alone. And I think that's very interesting, because that just shows how far society has come, and how perhaps there isn't as much stigma for, you know, oh, you're not married yet. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Why aren't you married, you know? My sister's 30. She's at university still in education. Well, she's a returning student, and she's single. And I find that she is okay with being alone at the moment. She doesn't feel pressured to find someone, and often people are like, oh, have you not found the one yet? No, I haven't. And they're just, I don't know, maybe perhaps taken back by that, I'm not sure. But I mean, she's in her 30s, and most people generally 50 years ago would have been married with kids by then, and I don't think she feels that social pressure of, I need to find someone now to do what I need to do to achieve life goals, or do what is socially acceptable in some format, which is interesting. And I think that single life is interesting. I think how people get together now is very different as well. I've been on many dating sites. I'm on one now called Lavu, and in all honesty I don't use it very much because I haven't had the time to sit down or talk to anyone, and half the time, I'm not saying everyone, because I have met people on dating sites that I've built great friendships with and bonds with as well, but as a whole, I found dating sites very unappealing to me, because I've come across a lot of guys that are just after I don't know, perhaps sex photos, nude photos, and there was a stage in school where I felt like I had to do these things to get approval from guys. And reflecting back, I regret for being so open in that way. Now I'm just a bit more, no, I'm not standing for that. You're not just gonna ask for photos, naked photos of me, and then bugger off when you've got what you wanted. And it's just like half the time you meet guys on there, and it's kind of a bit like, you know, are you a virgin, or, you know, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a bit of fun, or you're sexy. Like, I want to meet someone, I think, on a deeper level. I think that's my issue. I don't know whether I require too much in a relationship, but I want someone that that I can connect with. Like, I feel like my soul connects to them. I know this is very deep, but I feel like I want someone who understands all of me, my passions, my love, who I am, who I present myself as. I will say I'm not a typically skinny, blonde, appealing, beautiful person. I'm not saying size depends on whether you're beautiful or not, because I'm not the skinniest person in the world, and I think that process makes it a lot harder, because generally people are looking for someone, well, people I've come across as, I'm not applying this to everyone in society, but are looking for someone who's, you know, a bit good looking, can wear nice things. I will say I've created more of a style and look for myself. I think I've got an eyelash in my eye. But I think that also makes the process a lot harder. Someone who accepts who I am on the outside, I suppose, because that is such a quality that people are requiring these days. I will say I met someone on a dating site once, and I felt like I connected with him on a deeper level, and I remember finding him on the Voo, and he had this massive passion for music, and he was the first guy that I started talking to, and I felt like this could go somewhere, this really could go somewhere. I felt like we had stuff in common, not even just in our hobbies, as who we were, and we did have moments of real closeness and romance, but things got in the way, and it's been on and off for a while, and I feel like I want to meet someone the way I met him, if that makes sense. Not through a dating site, but just by meeting someone who is like him. I don't think I will find someone like him, because he's very one of a kind. And I'm not going to mention his name, because I'm not sure if he wants to be mentioned, but he is... I felt like I'd found someone who understood me so much for the first time, because I've struggled to find people that understand my life, or even try to empathise, or just get me. That's what I'm looking for, and I think now people are staying single for longer because they are looking for so much more in a relationship, which I think is not necessarily a bad thing. Very interesting topic. I think so anyway. I think one of the main reasons why people are staying single for longer, they've got more responsibilities in life. They see relationships as not a prime thing in life, and I would say this as well. You know, it's okay to be alone, you can do it on your own, you don't need someone else to depend on to get through life, and I think that's become more of a socially accepted thing. And I truly believe that, and I think that's why people are staying single for longer. But I think another issue as to why people stay single for longer is because, or either they're not looking, or they're not interested in that aspect of life, or because they aren't so... they are just looking for so much more now. I want someone who's, you know, I watch people on TV on these like dating things, and I really want someone who's good looking, and I want someone who has nice eyes and a nice smile, and someone, if you hear people describe looks all the time, and we've become this, I don't know whether it's always been like this, and this really frustrates me, but everyone's looking, I want someone to be good looking, I want someone to be pleasing for me in that aspect, and that irritates me a lot, because I think you can find beauty in a heart, in a soul, in what someone loves and who they are. I'm not saying that I don't admire good looks, because I do, but I think beauty is within the soul also, within the heart, and that's what I think I'm looking for. I mean, I'm not saying I'm looking for the most beautiful guy in the world, just someone who gets me and gets my life. But I'm still yet to meet that person, and I think it's interesting how this topic has changed in society a lot over the years. I could sit here and talk for ages about this, but I think I'm going to leave it as that. I really want to hear your comments below about whether you think single life is the new cool thing, and what you think of my point of views, and what you look for in a relationship. Are you single? Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Are you in an open relationship? I want to hear all your ideas and what you perceive love and relationships to be in society in the 21st century. But I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed making this video actually. I could have sat here for hours and talked about this topic because it's so interesting. But thank you for listening. And I'll see you next time. Bye!